Hello, and welcome back to our Xtra podcast. Now, due to the current coronavirus situation and our social distancing rules that's been put in place, we will now bring you our show from a virtual Zoom studio. Now, I know we should all be greasing the greens by now and spraying our bowls all over the farm. And it is a frustrating time for us because this time of year we usually meet all our friends and other players from all other clubs and visit clubs, but it's not to be at the moment. But the most important thing is that we hope you're all well and staying as safe as you possibly can. Now, if any frontline workers, especially NHS workers, listen to the show, we are totally in awe of what you are doing for our country and for all our people. You are all true heroes to us, and the work you do is magnificent, but please stay safe as you can as well. Hopefully, over the next few weeks of lockdown and beyond, we'll bring you weekly news, updates from around the clubs, bowls, discussions, any new ideas, initiatives you may very well have, and as well as our very own virtual Carruthers Shield 2020. Plus, we'll have our usual studio guests on the show. So we hope you enjoy the show. Keep in touch with us via our Facebook page and Twitter, but just keep reminding yourselves that the good times will be back sooner rather than later. Stay home, stay safe, stay healthy. See you soon. Right, welcome back to another edition of the Extra End. It's been a year since our last effort, but that's probably down to my co-host, Chrissy Wright, buggering off to Spain for a year. But anyway, good news is he's back. Welcome back, mate. How did it all go?
Yeah, it was very good, mate. Good experience working out in the sun. Getting used to the siesta attitude. The way of life. Then went to India for a month. Never again. Worst place I've ever been. But good experience. Good to be back. A bit disappointed to see someone's nicked our name, but less said about that, the better.
Yeah, I noticed that, mate. Yeah, I noticed that. Bowls England.
Yeah.
Now we're called the Extra End, obviously, but what are they called theirs?
The Extra End with an E.
The Extra End with an E. Oh, very original. Well done, lads. That's brilliant.
E for England.
Huh?
E for England, I imagine.
Actually, we got some snaps of you on your sabbatical. You want to see them?
Yeah,
Talk us through these, mate.
All
right. First things first. That's you on pissing about in an airport.
Yeah, that's where we got the Thomas Cook aeroplanes, 99p each. free for £2.
Yeah, and that's the famous golfer Andy Garcia. He's a bloody actor. Sergio Garcia.
Yeah, and that's me there as well. Walking the old Jimmy. Yeah.
And that's two more for famous footballers.
Yeah, Santi Cazorla, absolute baller. He asked for his photo with me. He said, "You're the one who hosts our podcast." I said, "Yeah, no worries, mate, no problem." And then there's Kieran Trippier,
England's finest.
Yeah,
and I take it they're your workmates today, mate.
Yeah, that's Diego Simeone. That is, he didn't work with me, the guys on the left, they're the Spanish workforce.
Very good,
good guys. Some of them couldn't speak a word of English, so it was a bit fun.
So your Spanish time was decent, was it, mate?
Yeah, decent.
So you moved on to India.
Yeah.
And there he is, Chrissy Bin Laden.
Yeah,
with his
that's my crew. Yeah, no direction there on the right.
Yeah, no direction. So, so it's been a year since our last podcast, mate, and I reckon most of that time you were pissing about in Spain. You got deported.
Yeah.
And for harassing footballers and golfers, and you probably couldn't get back in this country dressed like that.
Did actually get kicked out of India a day early because my visa ran out and I had to pay £600 for flights back. So yeah, it was an adventure.
Right, as you can see, we got our special guest this week, the Wales's finest, Ross Owen and Steve Harris. Welcome, lads. Welcome to Steve. How are you, mate?
Hello, Mark. How are you?
Not bad, mate. Not bad. How are you? How are you dealing with lockdown without any betting, mate? Because it's breaking me.
Oh, there's always something to bet on, Mark. You know that.
I was at Happy Valley.
Tampa Bay Downs, Gulfstream, Happy Valley.
Yeah, I was at Happy Valley all afternoon today.
Yeah, Happy Valley. Yeah, very good. No, it's all right. Well, you get used to it now, don't you? It was a struggle at the start.
Yeah.
No routine, no work and things like that. But now you're getting paid to stay at home in the sunshine. So.
Yeah, and the weather's helping in there. How are you, Ross? How are you, mate?
Yeah, all good, thanks. You all right?
Say for you, pal, you working or?
Little bits here and there when we
well
can
done.
get just in the hospitals that they're building up in the stadiums and such. But
Brilliant.
yeah, still doing a bit when I can.
And you keep it well, yeah?
Yeah, all good, thanks. But yeah, good.
Excellent. Oh, that's good. That's good. Right. Okay. Now you're all involved in Facebook. Obviously, there's some Twitter enthusiasts out there as well. But a lot of clubs are doing some great work fundraising for the NHS. And if I can show you a few now on the old screen, if I can. I know Merthyr West End have started off, and I think it's on the 2nd of May. They have a walk around the green. Is that right? Is that?
I don't know. That's still showing me.
I know.
You go.
Well, yeah. I got to get rid of the terrorists first. Well, there you are. So, as you can see, Merthyr West End. Look, the 12 bowlers are going to walk around their green in the 12-hour shift, which obviously kind of mimics how much NHS workers their hourly shifts. And as you can see from the image there, they've already raised over £1,200. So that's a great start. And they have got a Just Giving page, which I'll put all the links on the end of this show if you can. What do you reckon, lads? That's not a bad start, is it?
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. Hopefully it makes the green better as well.
Perhaps take a walk on the green and trample the grass down a bit.
Yeah, take a shovel and spade on it, dig it up.
There'll be positives and negatives with Chris Miller.
There you go. There's another club guest memorial. Look, donating all their stock to the NHS. That's a brilliant effort there, guys. Well done.
Alan Guest will be devastated.
Why is that?
All the beer's gone. Everything's gone.
Oh, and I thought you were on the cheese and onion crisps.
Oh no.
Yeah, they only moved it there to stop Stoney nicking it, didn't they? That's a safe place in the hospital.
No, that's a brilliant gesture, and actually the guys at Payland are saying they donated 36 crates of water to the hospital. So well done, guys. That's brilliant. The next one, mate, I think you were involved in, Steve. I think, isn't it?
Well, so
can you talk us through this?
Our video on TikTok, yeah.
What idea was this, then, mate?
Jamie Brown. Jamie Brown. He joined us back this year now. Sort of message on our WhatsApp group asking the boys if they were interested in doing a bit of a video for a laugh to support the NHS and say thank you. And he saw Blackwood Rugby Club do one, I think, or Oakdale Rugby Club do one. So he wanted to be like the first Bowls club to do one. So
JK
we just had to sort of.
He'll lift that out the way, JK now.
JK, he even follows it. Well done, JK. Well done.
So we just had to do like a 10-second video in the garden.
Look at this skill from Dando, yeah.
With the ball coming in and
look at that.
Jamie's daughter put it together and that's the finished product.
That's fantastic. Good laugh, that is fair dues.
Some people say there's the first touch you had, Steve.
You're right, Ross. For 2020, you are correct, mate. Well done.
And here's the ladies with their effort then.
Yeah, they copied us, the ladies. So
obviously. There's Anwin. Critical work at Anwin. Fair play to her. Fair play to love her. With her chickens. Got her away nicely there. Some of these, look, there's Chloe Jackson. Obviously know any of it. Oh, it's Judith. Go on, Judith. It's all good fun, though, to be fair. And it raises money for a good cause, What an excellent cause, Fair dues. But,
gives a bit of exposure to our game as well.
Yeah, that's right. It's nice. And if it's on Twitter and it's getting retweeted or Facebook and there's a lot of likes, then that can only be a good thing for the game as well, can it?
Exactly.
Wendy Price got the right idea when she has her go at the end of this.
Yeah, I did have a look at one.
Oh, I thought that was Wendy.
That's where I stopped it. Here comes a dragon. Oh, hang on.
Sorry, Hazel.
Sorry, Hazel. I saw the dragon first. I'm not sure what Emma's doing here.
We'll have to get her on the show to talk us through that.
And here's one. Here's Ria now in at Taftswell. I think that's it.
I think that's our bowling green. That's RTV bowling green, I think.
Taftswell, that is. Well, here's me. This is my 24-hour Skittles-a-thon. I was playing with my next door neighbour, actually.
Did you win?
I did, yeah, but the loser had to give 50 quid to the charity. Look at that, didn't miss. Brilliant.
Oh, you look like you put a bit of weight on. Lockdown's been going well.
This is you doing 5 sit-ups for charity. Well done, mate. That's brilliant. Good effort.
I think they're push-ups, but okay.
What the hell was that?
That's the Taliban training camp.
Hey, you haven't got the music on in the background, though. It's Rocky Balboa.
No, I haven't. That's correct.
A lot of followers there, Chris.
I turned it off.
I know. That's the average Bowls crowd, that is it?
Right. So well done, everyone, on all those efforts to raise charity for to raise money for charities like the NHS. That's a brilliant effort. Keep it going. And if anyone else of the Bowls clubs are doing something or want us to promote something, then send them in through our Facebook page, text Righty on Facebook, anything. Email me, and we'll get it up there and try and promote it via our Xtra End podcast.
Yeah, there's been a lot of other good things actually. A
right.
lot of old bowlers sharing old pictures. Someone shared one earlier. It was Steve Harris winning the under-18s. I couldn't believe that one. 1990, what was it? 1992, Steve?
1992, yeah.
Were you in that? How was it that?
It was
a long time ago.
Was that
Ross wasn't even born.
Born, exactly.
Was it in Pontypridd?
He was in, no, he was down in Swansea, in Victoria Park.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I beat the great defending champion at that time, Jonathan Stevens, first round.
That's right, because it first started the under-18s up in North Wales on AstroTurf. It was a camp. It was a holiday camp.
Yeah, he went to Anasagari Park in Pontypridd for a couple of years.
Yeah, that's right. He did.
And I went in Victoria Park in '92.
It was funny, actually. John was telling me this morning that he couldn't remember who he lost to in the third year. He was trying to defend the title because it was a nobody.
Why is he on your comedy value, is it? Is that what it is?
Nah, but to be fair, there has been some great photos rocking about. It's nice to look back. Even the club they were in the 70s, 80s. Rob Wheels posted a load where he looks like Jim off Friday night dinner with some dolly glasses and moustache. But no, they've been hello, Jackie. But they've been really good to see. Like Rob actually looks younger now than he did 30, 40 years ago.
I'm not having that. Wolves fan, can't have that.
Yeah, no, he does. But it's good to see. Also, a couple of the bowlers been doing 8-ball pool league. Ross gave me hammering last night on that, just on the app.
So explain that then, mate, for people who might want to get involved.
Yeah, so basically it's just an app on the phone, 8-ball pool, most frustrating game you'll ever download, so I probably wouldn't advise anyone to download it. But we've been playing 5 at a man. Gareth Rees won the first tournament. He won, I think he won 80 quid. Next one was won by Lee Owen, a nobody in Gilvac, but somebody in 8-ball pool. I've been playing the role of the treasurer. I only enter it to keep hold of the money, just to build the interest in my bank account. But but that's been good. We also hosted a quiz on Facebook Live. We raised over £400 for T. Avon, which was good.
Brilliant.
Virtual Grand National, John Roberts won that. So
won the quiz?
Good. No, we didn't really have a winner. We had loads of prizes to give away. We had like about 10 prizes. It was more of an interactive quiz. Some people were only playing to see Chelsea, so it was all good.
No, that's great, mate. And again, brilliant on your behalf, organising all these things, mate. I know I've had a couple of race nights. That works if anyone wants to get involved in a race night.
Yeah, we can do an Xtra End podcast one.
Yeah, why not? We'll do something, but we'll do something all charity related, I think, mate.
Superb.
Okay, moving on then. Where are we with this season? Who knows? There's talk of us maybe clubs are getting back to normal in July, middle of June, July. I know the WBA, I think quite rightly, cancelled their tournaments because it's very county reliance, and they've got to get things through for them to finish their tournament. So the Crothers is gone. Obviously the national tournaments are gone. The international series is gone. So we'll be going back to virtually nothing. Now, thankfully, the foresight of the PGs have delayed the start of the leagues till July, which gives us half a chance if we are getting back. So we may see a little bit of action. I don't know, but because it does all depend on this lockdown and how long it's going to last for. But the question I'll ask, mate, to all of you, is this year, and it's been a horrible one so far, though, the perfect opportunity to have a look at the restructuring of Welsh outdoor bowls? And what I mean by that is my biggest bugbear. There's no national league. Now, every other sport in the world have got a national league. We haven't got one. the Carruthers Shield, does it need a little bit of a revamp? It doesn't need a massive one. Does it need a little bit of a revamp? And 3, why are we playing the same competitions year in, year out? And there's no new blood apart from the likes of Chrissy or Righty, who is introducing Super 8's fantastic tournament. Why are we relying on members like Righty to introduce these type of tournaments to progress through through our calendar? So they're the questions I would ask. So Righty, I'll start with you, mate, because you introduced the Super 8. So we'll talk about the competition aspect of it. What do you think? What's your opinion?
Well, I think it's definitely the right time to review where we are. Not just Welsh Bowls, but British Bowls. As a whole. Why we so far behind. Australia. I know obviously the weather aspect and the funding aspect is a big one, but in terms of the tournaments we play, there's been the same structure. For 20, 30 years. For me, I believe there's only about 4 or 5 clubs capable of winning the Carruthers Shield right now. So if we get a draw, speaking from a Barry Athletic perspective, where you're going to be playing RTBL Ebbw Vale 2 years in a row, it's a little bit of a, because we might upset them at home, maybe a 1 in 10 chance, but chances are you're going to go two years in a row out to the first round, whereas if we jazz up that Carruthers, do it, redraw every round live on Facebook like we do with the Super 8, it's going to build that excitement. Not, especially from a little club perspective, you could make it to the final. You might then come up against one of the big boys, but you've got that opportunity and it is going to build excitement.
Yeah, I'm 100% behind that. What about you? What about you, Ross? Especially with the Carruthers.
Yeah, I think you're right, really, what you're saying is there's only 4 or 5 potential, realistic people looking to win the Carruthers Shield from the start of the tournament. It would be good to just try and shuffle it about a bit, just to try and think of some new ideas to bring the so-called smaller clubs into it and give them a bit more of a chance. Because at the end of the day, without your grassroots, your smaller clubs, you don't have the bigger clubs. So it'd be good to, get them involved and try and get them through to the last stages in some aspect. Try and develop them as well.
Yeah, that's right, Ross. Steve, how about you, mate?
Yeah, I mean, you say that your biggest bugbear we haven't got a National League. Our biggest tournament in Wales is the Carruthers Shield, and always has been. And
it is at the moment, that's right.
Yeah, the first round's got 9 buys in it.
Yeah.
There's no other tournament in amateur or professional sport does that.
Absolutely, and
so why can't you just, like I said, I spoke to you about it. You give every county an extra qualifier, and one county misses out every year. That's a simple option to do. Like Chris said, you put them all in the hat, you draw them out every round. Facebook has shown with the Super 8 how exciting or different it is, and the banter that goes on with it. And anyone can draw anyone then. Absolutely. All the big boys could go out. All the like I said, the so-called smaller clubs or whatever. Everyone's got a fair chance then of going through. When it's a 2-year draw, you will literally look into August and July, August, who we playing and things like that. Like.
Yeah, it's boring, isn't it?
It is boring. My biggest thing with it, and I'm not knocking anyone who's running tournaments and things like that.
No, this is not what we're here for. Yeah.
I know people on the executive who've gone in there and asked questions. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? And that's what I'd like to know as a player. Why is it still being the same for the last 100 years or whatever? Why are we not looking at change? Like,
yeah. No, you're spot on, Stephen. I've played bowls for ages with you, and I took 10 years out of the game. I came back, and everything hasn't changed one iota.
No.
It's the same format, same everything. It's just thinking, what's going on here? And now I'm finding that then things haven't changed anyway. But you gotta look after the smaller clubs in any competition you run. And if it's drawn every round, like Ross said earlier, you could get an underdog right through to the quarters or semi-finals. You could get one. It depends on their draw. Yeah. And how fantastic would that be for that club to do that? The way it's set out at the moment, okay, they do the draw, and the draw might be favourable, but only for 1 year, because the next year you got to go away, and then you get whacked.
Yeah,
exactly. So it's got to be done. For me, if the Carruthers is going to advance now and catch up with modern day sports, it has to be redrawn every round.
I've always said as well, I would quite like, considering the Crowther Shield is the pinnacle of Welsh Bowls, I love playing up Landod, the times I've been fortunate enough to reach there. But, I think it would be great to move the Crowthers final around, have the semis and finals on 2 separate weekends, and have clubs bid to host the rights to host the Crowthers final. Because imagine during the summer, lovely nice day, and the Crowthers final being played down Tenby. Over the people, the beachgoers and all that, hearing that noise, thinking, let's go in and see what's going on there, and that would be good, seeing Steve bowl a blocker or something, it builds to the excitement. but even so, like that would be changing it, because there's a change of venue. Stuff should be played at Landod because that is the home of Welsh Bowls, but other clubs should be able to host things as well, and that's what I'd like to see.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of a grey area here, because I know that the WBA, they pay Landod to be their home, and Landod asks certain questions. Well, if we're going to do that for you, what's in it for us? And the WBA turn around and say, well, we'll put everything there. So you can understand why it's all up in Landod, but it's a cracking idea to share the love around all the clubs, just for revenue, to keep these other clubs going.
Exactly. And one other thing as well, I also believe on the day of the Crowthers final, no other clubs in Wales should be able to play a game of bowls, because then it would mean a lot more people would go and watch a Crowthers final, and for people playing in their first one, it builds the excitement, playing in front of a big crowd, which they may never experience again. So I think that would be good.
That's a great idea as well, but because it's in mid Wales, are a lot of people going to travel to mid Wales? If it's in the southwest West Wales, you will get the crowds. You won't get a crowds up in mid Wales, no chance. They won't travel.
No, but that's why you move around though.
Well, that's what I'm trying to back your point up. Yeah. Okay, right. So that's the Crowthers. We kind of, sort of played around with the Crowthers, and I do agree with everything you said there. Now then, we are, like I said earlier, probably the only sport not to have a national league. Yeah. Every other sport got a national league. Now, you probably think, oh, that's too much. We got the PGs, we got this, we got that. Yeah, we have, but there's a lot of leagues that are county based. Now, for me, it shouldn't be too much organising, because you can disagree if you like, but the private greens are in A1 position to create this league. Yeah, because half the teams are in the, and we got the arrival of RTB and Beaufort. Yeah, we're only a couple of clubs short of that being the Welsh Premier League. Yeah, and I don't want to talk about a Premier League, because that's just elitist. Yeah, you got to have a structure down from the Premier League, Division 1, Division 2, whatever you want to call them. Yeah. And then have that structured in place. So we are traveling all over Wales then to play those games. That's the way I see it. What do you think? Should we have a national league in place, or do you think, oh no, stuff it will just, the Crowthers is the blue ribbon, which it is, and it always will be. But I'm saying there should be a national league in place, better than the leagues that are around at the moment.
Well, I definitely think there should be a national league. I imagine it's quite frustrating for the likes of RTB, as Steve, I'm sure, would tell you, Pontrhydyfen, Ven, a few other clubs that win their county league, with relative ease every single season. But also, speaking from about it, the PGs is the strongest league, but, you're playing some games, like Barriaff at the moment, speaking from their perspective, they're too good for the second division, but they're not good enough for the top division. So we can go up to the top division, and then we'll lose by 30, 40, 50 shots to Harlequins or Penland, where the game's over after 10 ends, and it's just boring. But also on the flip side, and I'm sure Ross would say, would agree with this, Harlequins and Merthyr and other clubs, once Ely Valley, once they're out the Crowthers, they are putting out, weaker sides in the PGs, because it's the same old every time. There's no change of environment, no change of teams. And I just think if you have a Welsh league, it would bring more bragging rights alongside the Crowthers.
That's right, Ross.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. Like, I like my rugby, and I think the rugby structure in Wales is like a good thing to follow, as in like, because I think one of the problems you might have, like the so-called smaller clubs, wouldn't as such want to travel like long distances to play their games, because they're not as competitive.
So you have divisional sort of leagues then, Ross, yeah? Is that what you're saying?
Regional.
Regional, sorry.
Yeah, so you could have like a Premiership, Championship, and then like Division 1 East, and then you have all the East teams and Division 1, and then like the winners of each one have the right to play like a playoff kind of thing or whatever to get up into the Championship and Premiership, you know.
Yeah. Good idea.
Because, you know, I totally understand the smaller clubs with like a lot less members and such wouldn't want to travel up to, for example, Preston and play a game bowls or, you know, I'm not saying Preston are going to be in that leagues, but that's just an example.
I know. It's just a further away club, yeah.
I tell you what, though, like, I know people say I don't really want to travel, but like when some of the funnest days I've had bowling is like on a team bus trip to Newtown or that, you know, and making a day of it, Tenby. So, you know, if you're only making it once a season, it's not that bad, is it? You know, if you were drawn in a division where they're all far away. But at the moment, the likes of Preston and Landod and that, they're the ones that are expected to travel.
Yeah. Well, Steve?
If you want to play, like I say, if you want to play the best teams week in, week out, which we all want to do, and we all want to get the best league, then you're going to sacrifice travelling an hour and a half, 2 hours in the car to play a game of bowls. If you're not, you just have to stay where you are and crack on for the next 50 years and doing what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right. No, I agree. And to touch on someone's point about teams going away and going, oh, we're going to get whacked. Another thing I'd like to see change is the point scoring system. I think 14-0 or 12-2 is so antiquated, it's unbelievable. Yeah. I know you get rewards for winning on rinks, but and then you get 6 points for winning on games. Great. But why not introduce something new? Something like you get 1 point per rink. So you could actually, if it's a 10-4 situation, you've drawn the game to all. I don't know. I'm thinking out loud. I don't know. And that's a point. You know. So if a team has gone away and lost 10-4, but they got whacked in the game, they drew 2 all, and come away with a point. Little things like that. I don't know what the right solution is, but I just think the 14-0. The 14 points per game is done for me, I think.
Would it be worth, you know, like, because I know up in Scotland, I think in their league games, they only play 17 ends, don't they? You know, would it be worth making games 17 ends? So even if you are travel up, if it probably takes 40 minutes, an hour off that time anyway, if you're only playing 17 ends.
Well, if travel's the problem, then why not think about something like that?
And you have got a chance of more shocks as well if it was 17 ends, because I've been beating teams, you know, overall where you end up losing to them, but you're winning a 17 end stage.
Beating anyone.
Why is it 17?
Yeah.
No, that's where we got that from. 18 ends, is it?
Yeah, 18.
No. Graham Lang said it's 17 ends in Scotland. The league.
Don't listen to Lang.
Graham Lang hasn't been in Scotland for 40 years.
He's smashed all the time on his tits. Don't listen to him.
10 kids running around everywhere. He doesn't know what's going on.
Why do we play 21 ends? That's an odd number.
Yeah, but you could look at things like that. You could knock it down to 18 ends, and you can introduce another scoring system. I mean, for me, if I'm playing a game on a Saturday, that rink point is massive.
That's good.
Otherwise, you're going down the road like of Indo Internationals, where the team just wins 2 points for the game. Like, you know, every rink to me has got to count if you're going to play a league system that way. You know.
Yeah, definitely.
Which gives everyone a chance to score points throughout that season, type of thing. Like.
Yeah, exactly, and that's right, and that's why I think is it, you know, per rink rather than the overall game type thing. Do we go down that route? I don't know. That's why I'm coming up with these. So you can have 4-0 wins, 3-2, 2 alls, 3 1s. You know, but the most important, and it seems to me like the score that sticks out most is that 10-4 where you've run on 2 rinks but you've lost the game. Yeah, but if you've gone away to a tough place like RTB and won on 2 rinks. Surely there should be some reward there, you know. Okay, you come away with 4 points, but they come away with 10. You know, and then that's hard to catch back up in a couple of games' time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Why in a point scoring system's closer?
I just hope that, you know, obviously this time, because it's unprecedented times. You know, it's probably the first time since World War II where we've gone a period without bowls. You know, Gareth Humphries will tell you whether it is, but you know, it probably is a long time. You know, where people can actually reflect and see what changes we need to make in bowls. You know, there's been no indoor bowls since the international series, is it? That was probably the last thing. So by the time we get on the green, it's probably been the best part of 5 months without any bowls.
How do you pick who goes in this league?
Well, what I would suggest is, and this is my suggestion, my opinion, is this year there's an amnesty. You invite anybody who wants to join the private greens. Yeah, because the private greens, that's where it's going to start. There's no way you're going to form a national league without the private greens, and vice versa without the WBA. So they need to knock their heads together.
Need to have them on board.
And then what we do then is the amnesty is there. Who wants to join the PGs? Don't leave it a year, or you got to go in the bottom, the bottom division. And again, this is my opinion. Then on past performances and past results and past honours, you then create your Premier League. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you go down you pick the leagues then from then onwards.
Or you even go one club per county.
So say again, mate.
You could even go one club per county potentially to start off.
One club per county.
Yeah,
but I think if you look
for the Premier League,
if you're looking to start it off and you're looking to get a league and you want everyone in Wales to get on board with it, I think you've got to open it up right out across the board. I don't think you're going to look at Carruthers Shield over the last 5-10 years because of the draw system. You can have the same teams all the time, and you might have one team who's been in there once in the last 10 years. If you go for the top team and say in every county,
that's
there's 10 teams straight away.
Yeah.
And then at least you've got a basis to go on. Every county's got someone in there who's got a chance. Yeah. And then you decide on your next division and how many goes up, how many goes down type of thing, Because rather than just section off to certain ones,
I think, to be honest, if you're having a Premier Division, like one each county would work. I think you probably have like Harlequins who made Glamorgan, but imagine Merthyr West End would want to be in the top division. But that that's all passer by. I'm sure clubs will fall into whatever league they deserve to be in. Steve with the sound effects, eh? But I just think we just need change in Welsh Bowls, just to sex it up really more than anything.
Yeah, what do you think about that, Ross, with the leagues and a points scoring system?
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. Really, the whole thing of you could win in 2 rinks each and being a 6-point gap is a big difference, isn't it?
Well, it is, yeah. That's right, over the season.
So yeah, I don't really know the answer. But,
that's right. It needs a lot of evenings together and thrashing stuff. Well, I say us, it's the private greens of the WBA, but that's up to them. But it is a lot of work, but I'm sure there's ways around it. But I'm just saying, this year is it a good opportunity to start it now afresh? That's all I'm saying.
Definitely is the perfect time, to be fair, isn't it? This is the time now to, we can have a lot of time, thinking time and time to,
things,
we need.
We've got time to implement it.
Yeah.
So who's got time to implement it? Who's going to implement it?
Well,
that's it. That's the question, huh?
But no, exactly. That's what I said earlier. Is it up to the private greens and the WBA to get together and have a meeting? Has that even been suggested? I doubt it.
I mean, there's 4 of us sat here now, and we just bounced around an idea, which you can guarantee we get probably another 200 to back you up.
Yeah.
And we can talk about it all day, but the powers to be need to sit down and say, look, what, we're not going to play outdoor bowls this year, or if we do, it's going to be club tournaments and that's it.
Yeah.
But then, like a week ago, Chris put something on Facebook. He had a calendar out from the end of July till September.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some our club had something. Some clubs had tournaments going on.
That's right.
Whereas you look on the WBA website and things again, it's just about government regulations or whatever to say we're not doing nothing until they say we can do something like.
Yeah, you're spot on. There's you look at other sports, you look at the Masters, they moved it to November. You look at the rugby union, they're thinking of having a second Six Nations in November. You look at the Football League, they're trying to fit the fixtures in before July the 30th, if they can do that, and then start the season. There's always forward planning there, isn't it? I know they're major sports, don't get me wrong, but there's nothing stopping us having a bit of forward planning, surely.
No, but I think the big problem is, from an outsider looking in, you haven't really got anyone taking control. Who really plans the calendar? Who really takes great emphasis on it and saying, we need new competitions. I know they created that new forward singles, men and women this year, but I don't really think that's the answer.
No,
it's obviously we need more. I definitely think we should be having our national finals, men and women together, the same 2 weeks, 100%. But I don't really think it's, people have said, have women playing in the men's league, but I don't really see that's the answer. You don't see men and women playing football together.
No.
But you just need someone taking control. It would just be nice for the Welsh, to just turn around and say to the young, some of the younger people, jump on board, come and join the committee meeting and that. you know, and I get that people say, you know, these people give up their time, which they do, and it's fantastic. But these people also, majority of them have the luxury of being retired. They've got the time. You know, they're able to go to meetings in Merthyr and that, you know, and go through their county to do that.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I totally agree. And I've heard about your calendar of events, trying to put a season together if we do get on the greens, and there's a possibility we can. And like I said, the PGs in it, you know, about having a bit of foresight to delay it to July. So who knows? You might have half a season. We don't know. But at least there's a calendar, like you said, you come up with. But like I said earlier, why is it left to you to do it? You know, why aren't other people coming up with ideas? That's my own opinion.
Yeah, but then it would be good.
Go on, Ross.
Go on, after you.
I was just going to say, you know, as far as I can see at the moment, from the Welsh Bowls perspective, it's just like, right, season cancelled, no thought really of what could happen if they say, for example, after this next 3 weeks is over, what we could potentially arrange and get going again. Because there's a lot of competitions that could still get played, and you know, there's the chance to create some new things on their behalf as well. You know, just to spice things up and get things moving.
Yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree with that.
I think the biggest challenge might be you know, with social distancing, it will be a challenge because I think that will go on for a while longer. And I think when lockdown does end, it'll end gradually for different age groups. So it might be a case like us four. Well, I don't know about you, Mark, but us, you know, 3 of us might be able to play bowls.
That's my ear.
Yeah, you know, but like, you know, but the likes of over 70s or even over 60s, they might not be able to play this season. But then what we could do is, you know, I'm sure you've got 8 people under 60 in your club, all of us. You know, we could have a little mini double rink league, you know, Welsh league, just something along those lines. But just prepare it. If we can't play bowls because it's not safe to, understandable.
Yeah. We got to follow the government guidelines. We all know that.
Yeah.
But if it's possible, then why not? You know, if we got 6 to 8 weeks to do it, let's do it.
It'll be interesting because I mean I know the British Isles have they haven't cancelled that. They've obviously postponed the series in the June. The juniors is up for debate at the moment, but they have said on their website that they are looking later as they can in the season, maybe to get things played off, because you've got last year's national winners to play British Isles Championships.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
There's going to be no national winners this year in any country. So next year you just don't have British Isles Championships. You just have the series type of thing, like, you know.
Yeah.
They could very well be things in place. They just haven't sort of come out and said, look, you know, we're not going to put a time scale on it.
No.
So obviously we don't know what's going to go on. I know, like, World Bowls was cancelled and World Bowls is back on now a year later.
But surely,
type of thing, like, you know.
Yeah, but surely you can come out and say, look, we're thinking of this. They can tell us that. Surely they can say, look, you know, don't be shy in not giving us a date. That's fine. But at least let us know there's something in the pipeline.
If there is something in place. I mean, I remember speaking to Dave Arden when all this sort of kicked off, and he said, look, there was a quick chat amongst managers of doing a 10-man tournament, international type of thing, like, you know.
Why not?
It was just a quick, something like this, quick little chat, and off we go type of thing, like. But you don't know what's gonna. But what I mean is, at least come out and say something. Say, look, you know, this is what we're looking at. If this goes right, if it is safe enough. Other than that, it's just put your balls back in the bag and you're starting back indoor in September, finishing off this year's indoor.
Well, that's right, and they'll probably want to start their season earlier anyway, so they'll want to sort of cut into the outdoor season themselves, won't they? Because you've got loads to play, haven't you? Is it quarterfinals or something?
Yeah, it's quarterfinals of pairs, triples, and fours. I think that's it. All the leagues and that was done. The cup final's got to be played. Yeah. But I think when we finished indoor, our indoor was sort of say, look, we'll start back up in September. We'll get this year's played off, and then your new season starts in October. I don't know, but you know, that's what they were looking at, like. Yeah,
fair enough then. Well, look, we all know people on the case, you know, that they're in these positions to do something. And like I said, we're not here to have a go at them, to slag them off. That's not. If we can come up with ideas and help them, or get on board with them, then I can speak for myself and I will help. Right, you will. I'm sure you guys will. Is that right, Ross and Steve? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
That's all. I mean, that's all we can do. We can keep.
We just all want what's best for Welsh Bowls. That's
and then hopefully the Facebook page may agree or disagree with us. That's fine. You know, let us know everything. At least, you know, it's all up for debate, and it's all open to new ideas as well. All right, okay, on that note then, lads, we'll talk about the Crowther Shield, and we're not going to know the real champions of 2020. That will never happen. But a little bit like the Grand National, we are going to have...
one end playoff through August. You never know, do you?
Well, there's an idea. I got an idea with this, mate. Let me tell you, I got an idea. But we are going to have a virtual Crowther Shield 2020. Chris, would you like to explain how you come to the last 64 teams, mate?
Yeah. Sorry if any teams are offended out there. But basically, just through a look on the Welsh Bowls website, I looked through the counties. Obviously, the 6 bigger counties got more teams in our virtual draw, and then the smaller counties, I think it was free clubs each for the smaller counties. So Ceredigion, Pembrokeshire, Mid Wales, and Montgomeryshire, and then the bigger counties had either 8 or 9 teams in it. And I just tried to pick what teams I thought you usually see in the Crowther's draw. And actually, it's good because we've actually got a full allocation of 64, no boys or anything. It's an actual real draw. It's incredible.
You sent me those teams, mate. I got to be honest, I can't argue with them. Apart from RTB, I don't. They should have got through. Right. So we've done the first. They're gone, mate. Bro.
The people's champions.
So we've done the first draw. And this is it.
Who's done the first draw?
We have.
I did. Come on, boys. What's wrong with you?
I did.
And he'll got a home draw, so of course he done it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Penland. Sorry. I can't keep
we got a buy. So there you have it.
Ebbw Vale versus Cymran. They struggled against them last year, didn't they, in the cup?
Yeah, by about 70.
So go on then, lads. Pick out some interesting ties there then. I'll start. Go on, I'll start.
Yeah.
I reckon an interesting tie there and a potential upset would be Whitchurch Prestine.
Ooh.
Whitchurch Prestine.
Yeah. Landod's not a bad team. They could maybe keep Harlequins within 30.
Nah, not on Harlequins ground, no chance.
Barry Aff Resolven, that wouldn't be a bad game. Resolven's quite a decent side.
Yeah.
Ferndale Cross Keys is probably a tasty game.
Ferndale Cross Keys, yeah, decent. That's a decent shout, mate. Yeah.
I think it'd be a good piss up. I know that much.
Quite well.
That's what I was thinking. I didn't want to say it.
So West End Park of Dre.
Well, yeah, that's not a bad shout, to be fair, mate.
West End lost all their superstars now, haven't they? Apparently.
Have they?
Yeah, so the rumour mill says.
Oh, Liam Stone.
Yeah.
Got a guest memorial. Haven't had a guest gone there as well.
And Scrooty.
Aaron Guest has left you, has he?
Yeah, he's gone back to guest memorial. I mean, to be fair, he lives literally around the corner from there, So.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's fair.
But he's gone back there. But hopefully he'll see sense eventually. He'll come back,
Yeah.
He's finished Brothers Hampton. He found out that was no good at RTB, so he's gone to try somewhere new.
Oh, but yes, I mean, he's a good player for us, very good player. So
yeah, he's tidy player.
You'll come back, But other than that, I can see Anna Sabol turning Kidwelly over. Big shout out to my mate Fatty on you from the Axe indoors.
Oh, he'd be singing. Oh yeah. What happened, Steve? Didn't you get dropped indoors?
We're not talking about that, are we? We're not talking about that, are we?
Oh, we're not covering that. That's next week's show.
Outdoor,
There's no carpet bagging on here. It's all outdoor.
Ross was there, you'll tell
proper
us.
balls.
I wasn't there, son. Don't drop me in it.
What was it, Steve? Have a rest, son. Have a rest.
Only once, man. He didn't say it twice.
On that note, mind, I got to be honest, on a serious note, I heard that Steve Reese is not very well with COVID-19, and we wish him a speedy recovery.
Yeah, speedy recovery, Steve.
So, okay, so we got the virtual draw on here, yeah?
Yeah.
Chris, can you let them know how this is going to work? Because I haven't got a bloody clue.
Yeah, so basically we're going to post the fixtures on Facebook. We want people to vote honestly. So we'll do one fixture every 2 hours for the next 4 days or on the lead up to the next show. So just vote. It'll be on a poll, and then whoever's got the highest vote goes through to the next round. hopefully common sense prevails.
And try and pick it as if you're in a bookie trying to win money,
And just on that note, I'd like to wish Dunvant well done on winning the 2020 Crover Shield. Well done, boys.
Odds of 150 to 1.
I had a tenner on it.
Yeah, let's not get odds involved. We'll be up before the commission.
Just like Happy Valley, man. It's easy.
Just bet on Neil Callan to win that too. Is it Neil Callan, the jockey?
Yeah, he's over in Hong Kong,
Yeah.
Yeah, no winners again today.
Freaking hell. Useless.
There you are. Ross, you okay there? Do you need to turn the light on, mate? Or?
A bit. I'm going to get darker and darker.
Just alone in his own thoughts here, didn't he?
Right, okay.
Well,
so
how did you do the draw then after the first round? There, what's your boys' idea with the draw then?
Going to be a redraw.
How the marks at that you were at?
Well, Mark's app's got more space.
Hey.
It's our wheel.
Oh, welcome back, Ross. I can see you now.
So yeah, we'll just redraw it each round, like the Crivers should be done. And then obviously we're going to taste for who's left in.
Live on the book.
Maybe live, yeah. Maybe we get down to the last 8.
Oh, I know. All right.
Last 16.
So what are we saying then? Are we going to get all the votes in by the next podcast, which is next Thursday then?
Yeah, next Wednesday. Oh no, this Thursday, isn't it?
Oh, well done, yeah. Well done. Welcome to live TV, mate. Brilliant. It's Thursday.
When this is going out to like 11 o'clock in the morning, they're not going to think, oh, it's dark in Aberdeen, isn't it?
Mountain Ash, steroid.
Oh, Mountain Ash. That's all.
Posh part of Aberdeen.
Same horse, different jockey.
Right, to finish off then, I know on Twitter there's been a couple of postings of greens. Slightly boring, I know, but I've never seen these greens look so good. So probably another idea is if you can send in your pictures of the greens. I mean, this is Pennyland now. I was looking, I think, a couple of days ago. Very nice. Always looks good, though, just to be fair, doesn't it?
Looking superb, yeah.
Yeah. Who is this? We got... the Mighty Harlequins, Ross. That's looking good, mate, isn't it?
Getting there slowly. It's still got quite a bit of work to be done, to be fair. But it's getting there slowly.
Yeah. And you got that air to root as we have, haven't you? Is that right?
Yeah. I think to be fair to them, they had a lot of hard work to do from where it was left off from the previous ground people that we had looking after our green. But they've made steady progress so far, so we're really happy with what they've done.
We're impressed at Payland, to be fair, at what they've started to do. And do you remember last year those edges were shocking, weren't they? Like the first tee of St Andrews after it, weren't it? So threadbare. But
after the Atlantic, it did take a night, didn't they?
Absolutely. I know we had a lot of play on it, but it's incredible the wear and tear they've gone on it. But if you look at it now, and it's all seeded in grass now, so fair play to them. They're a great company, I think, so far. Who's this? Thomastown, this, isn't it? That's Thomastown.
Oh, that's looking good. Fair play.
It's unbelievable how their green has turned around, to be fair. I think they took over the green about 2-3 seasons ago now.
Right,
and that was one of the worst greens in our county by a mile.
Okay.
Grass was always really long. It was always really tricky. But I played over there. I think it was just once last year in the county singles, and to be fair, it was one of the better greens I played on all season. It was really you can see just from that photo there, it's been looked after really well and it's turned right round.
It surprised me when I seen it.
Yeah, it's looking good.
Where's that to? I can't reckon. Where's that?
Beaufort.
Yeah, Beaufort.
Yes, it is. Yeah, yes, that's right. Yeah, that's looking all right.
Yeah, looking tidy.
And that is where's that?
Don't know. But you've got these photos, so I thought you'd know.
Oh yeah, I thought you recognised them. I have no idea. Huh? Mountain
Ash Rugby Club.
Is it? No idea. There you are. Anyway, there you are.
I'm not sure what Barry Aff's looking like. On a sad note, we did Dave Snelling passed away, who obviously done our green for years over the winter, so obviously that was sad because he'd done such an excellent job on our green.
Yeah, he's a great guy, he was, fair dues, and did a lot for your club, mate, didn't he?
Yeah.
Let's be fair, mate. Everyone's green looks good when you're 10 foot back and you take a photograph in the sunshine, mind, doesn't it? Come on, boys. If this is all you're going to talk about, you're going to get some new material.
Send me a picture of Eugene Cross Park, mate. Come on now. Get it in.
You don't want to see the mark.
You gotta cut the palm trees down first.
No, if anyone wants to send their greens to us, then we'll put them up there. You know, it's nice to have a look at them. Well, now we can't use them. But I think that's it, lads. I think for this week's podcast. Steve, Ross, thanks ever so much for the insight and coming on. It's a pleasure listening to you.
Thanks for having us, boy. Appreciate it.
And I hope
anytime,
you both stay safe.
Anytime.
Anytime, definitely. If you want to come on again, we'll get you definitely get you on because, like I said, who's
on next week?
Well, next week, funny enough, I was going to wrap up the show. Next week we got Ian Staff Davis on the show, along with Nicky Jones of Xtra. Both who I think are excellent in using social media and gaining sponsorship to promote their clubs and to sort of back their clubs. So hopefully their insight and their knowledge will help other clubs in these tough times.
He'll love being on camera, Staff, as well.
Really?
In the spandex.
He loves it. Thing, He loves it. He's like the white Mr. Motivator. He is. Fair play to him. All the weight he's lost.
That will be useful. So that will be useful for clubs who are going through tough times at the moment to listen to what they've got to say. To be fair, Chrissy, welcome back, mate. Thanks a lot. I know we had 3 podcasts last year, but this situation with Zoom, it's easy to get people together now. So there's no reason why we can't go on throughout the season.
Welcome back, Chris. Thanks for bringing the coronavirus back. Cheers, mate.
Hey, always a pleasure, mate. And hopefully the hot water's running in Blind of Gwent again tomorrow.
Mate, honestly, we've run out of paint. We've been painting our match up. Everything's gleaming up there. We've been painting our grass and our green.
Oh, bloody hell. Busy boy.
Look forward to the picture. No, cheers, lads. It's been it's been great first show back. And look, all stay safe and see you soon.
That's what, lads.
Cheers, guys. Take care.
Okay.
Look after yourselves. Ta, lads.